Let me talk to you about something that's been on my mind for a while. What's the end game in the NBA? For what it feels like forever, the answer's been simple. Get a ring. The championship, it's how we measure greatness, don't we? How we settle arguments in many discussions. But what if the most important prize isn't something you can wear on your finger? What if desperately chasing that shiny trophy actually costs players something far more valuable, something guys like Dirk Nowitzki, for example, Dwyane Wade got without ever having to leave home to find it? This is the story of that one untouchable prize. The one a super team can't give you and a trade demand won't ever deliver. It's the story of a legacy built not just on winning, but on staying put. To really get what's been lost, we have to remember what it looked like when it was found. We need to turn back the clock to a time when a superstar and a city could basically become the same thing. And for that, I have to go to Dallas. For 21 seasons, Dirk Nowitzki was the Dallas Mavericks. He wasn't just on the Mavericks, he was the Mavericks. After being drafted and immediately traded to Dallas in 1998, the lanky seven-footer from Germany started a journey that would define an entire era of basketball for the city. The early days were about getting his footing, growing with guys like Steve Nash and Michael Finley. But even when his co-stars left, Dirk stayed. He stayed through the gut-wrenching loss in the 2006 NBA Finals to the Miami Heat. He stayed after an incredible 2007 season where he won league MVP, led the Mavs to 67 wins, and then got bounced in the first round by the We Believe Warriors in one of the biggest upsets in NBA history. The story was already written. Dirk was simply a choker, a regular season hero who couldn't get it done when it mattered. In today's NBA, this is the exact moment a player starts quietly planning his exit. It's when superstars look for the escape hatch to a team that's already built to win. But Dirk never flinched. His loyalty, with a lot of people probably saw as a weakness, was actually his superpower. He was going to climb that mountain with that team that took a chance on him from day one, no matter what. And then 2011 happened. That playoff run is now the stuff of legend. With Dirk as the only All-Star, the Mavericks took down a parade of future Hall of Famers: Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and finally, the brand new Miami Heat Big Three of LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh. That championship wasn't just a win. It was a validation of his entire career. It was the ultimate payoff for his stubborn commitment. The image of him walking off the court, too emotional to celebrate, to have a moment to himself before accepting the Finals MVP trophy, is burned into the memory of every fan. Dirk spent his whole 21-year career with Dirk spent his whole 21-year career with one franchise, the longest run for any player in NBA history. He didn't just get a ring, he built a bond with a city that could never be broken. Now, let's talk about another icon from that same time, Dwyane Wade. For most of his 16-year career, Wade was the heartbeat of the Miami Heat. Drafted in 2003, he bought the franchise its first championship in 2006 with one of the most incredible finals performances we've ever seen. His name became so linked with the city that fans started calling it Wade County. He became the franchise's all-time leader in almost every important stat. Even when LeBron James and Chris Bosh came to town in 2010 to form the super team that would take over the league, Wade was still the foundation. He was the one who brought them there, taking a back seat and less money to make it all work. And yeah, he had short runs in Chicago and Cleveland near the end of his career, but that wasn't about ring chasing anymore. It was because of tough contract talks where he felt the front office was forgetting his loyalty. But in the end, he came back to Miami to finish his career right where he belonged, welcomed back by a city that never stopped seeing him as their guy. Both Wade and Nowitzki got something more than just rings. They earned a permanent, unconditional spot in the hearts of their cities. Now today, the game looks completely different. The era kicked off by no one other than LeBron James has totally changed the power dynamic, giving superstars a level of control we've never seen before. Is it good control? I don't know. That's debatable, but they have it. This player empowerment movement isn't all bad. Players aren't just property anymore, stuck on one team forever. They're the CEOs of their own brands, but, as I mentioned in some of my videos, sometimes they care about those brands more than they care about the basketball that they play. But that freedom has created a culture where loyalty feels old-fashioned and stability is almost a forgotten concept. LeBron James is the poster child for this new era. His career has been a masterclass, you could say, in making strategic moves. He always tries to go to the team that gives him the highest chance of winning a title. After 7 years in Cleveland with no title, he made the decision and left for Miami, creating a super team that won 2 championships during 4 years him being there. Then he went back to Cleveland and delivered on his promise to bring a title to his home state in 2016. An all-time great comeback story, they call it that. But look closer and half the starting Warriors roster was compromised. Curry injured knee, Green suspended, and Bogut injured and out completely. But never mind that. LeBron then left again for the Los Angeles Lakers, grabbing a 4th ring in 2020, the bubble Mickey Mouse ring they call it. You can't argue with the results. 4 rings with 3 different teams. It sounds pretty good, doesn't it? If you don't look at anything else. But his career will always have that shadow of ring chasing hanging over it. Pundits and ex-players say the team hopping hurts his legacy. Fans say it, I say it. And especially when you put him against Michael Jordan, who never left the Bulls in his prime. The criticism isn't just about leaving. It's the idea of building instant champions instead of toughing it out and building one from scratch. It's like John Stockton said. He took the helicopter to the mountaintop. He didn't climb it. And now that's just the way it is. We see superstars demanding trades with years left on their deals, basically holding their teams hostage. We see rivals teaming up, creating a revolving door of talent that makes it hard for fans to get even attached. The whole idea of being tied to a city that drafted you feels like something from a black and white movie almost. It's created a serious double standard. Teams get praised for making smart business moves when they trade a player, but a player who leaves gets called disloyal. To me, it just depends on the situation. As Dirk Nowitzki said himself, the NBA is a cold business. And that's true, both ways. So in this climate, the smartest move is often to chase your own success. But what are these players giving up in the process? What is the actual success? Because success is different for every player. Just when it looks like the one-team legend is a thing of the past, a modern hero for loyalty shows up. His name is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Drafted by the small market Milwaukee Bucks in 2013, Giannis has become the new face of staying put. He's constantly doubled down on his commitment to the franchise, even when they came up short in the playoffs. In 2021, he led the Bucks to their first NBA championship in 50 years, a win that felt like a victory for doing things the right way. Whenever there's been talk about him leaving, Giannis has shut it down. He signed a massive contract extension in 2023, keeping him in Milwaukee for years to come. He doesn't talk about loyalty like it's a business decision for him. It's just who he is. He talks about how the city and the team changed his family's life. how his own kids were born in Milwaukee. I'm very loyal, he says. If you were there for me in the beginning, I'm there for you for the rest of our lifetime. For that, I can't turn my back. Not now, not in the future, not ever. That's his actual quote. And now there is also speculation of him possibly demanding a trade. But as of yet, that's all it is, speculation. His way of thinking is the complete opposite of where the league is heading. As fellow star Paul George put it, Giannis is old era cut. Someone who wants to stay in one place because it's about legacy. And that's what this is all about. The rings, yeah, they get counted. The stats get recorded. But what's a legacy worth? What's that one thing that Dirk has in Dallas, Wade has in Miami, and that Giannis is building in Milwaukee that a player who bounces around every few years can never truly achieve? It's an unconditional, unbreakable sense of belonging. It's the love of a city that feels your wins as their own because they were there with you for every single loss that came before. It's when your name becomes so tied to a franchise that retiring your jersey isn't just a nice gesture anymore. It's a celebration of a journey you took together. It's a love that isn't about transaction. It doesn't depend on the next contract or the next title. It's permanent. So in the end, it looks like there are two roads to greatness in the NBA right now. One is the road of the strategist, the CEO, who moves the pieces around the board to get the best shot at the title. It's a path of power, of freedom, you could say. And you can't deny the success because the rings are coming sometimes. The rings are real and they shine just as bright. But that other road, the road of the loyalist, offers a totally different prize. It's a harder path, no doubt, full of way more risk and much bigger chance of failure. But the reward is something special. It's a legacy that's stitched into the soul of a city, a connection that goes way beyond the business of basketball. It's the respect that comes not just from winning, but from staying. It's the one thing a ring chaser will never truly earn. So the question I have for you is this: what do you value more? Is a championship won with a hired gun super team as special as one won by a homegrown hero who went through years of pain to get there? Is the goal just to stack up rings, or is it to build something that lasts forever in one place? I personally like Giannis, Dirk, and Wade approach better. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives like this and stories that make the NBA what it is. Now, I will see you in the next one. Peace.